Howdy, I just wanted to show everybody a project that I've been working on for the past probably year and a half, which is a Raspberry Pi live streaming local server. So a while back, our agency was looking into live streaming, and Kitty Hawk was one of the only options, I think, in the beginning, or one of the very early options. So I found a way to kind of create our own through Nginx and Linux. And so I had a self-contained server that was very secure, because all the files, everything was only going through our server and over the internet, just like it does now. But as far as evidence and everything else, we maintained all of that. So from that, now we use a commercial service, but I did develop a Raspberry Pi, like I said, local live streaming server, and I'm just going to demo that for you guys. For the cost and the functionality, it's amazing. So what this is a Raspberry Pi microcomputer, basically a very small Linux computer. It has a micro USB power port, HDMI port, full-size HDMI on the 3B plus, audio out, 3.5 millimeter Ethernet, and then it has 4 USB ports. And then it also has a micro SD card that stores all the data. So this is, like I said, the 3B plus model. The 4 model also has some of the same functions. It's a little bit faster. I think it's a 1.4 gigahertz processor versus 1.3, or it's 0.1 off anyway. But the 3B plus offers 1 gig of RAM. The 4 offers up to 4 gigs of RAM, which could be usable for online streaming, possibly. I haven't tried it yet, but for this one, I wouldn't count on it to feed a lot of streams. But what you'll see here, this is a safe shutdown button I've installed. So these things, they're just like a Windows PC. If you shut them down by just pulling the cord out, eventually you're going to fry a hard drive, and in this case, you're going to destroy the micro SD card, which I have done on a similar project. But I'll actually show the similar project here. I've built a Stratix out of a Raspberry Pi. This is just a 3D printed case I have, but the Stratix is an awesome tool too. I would recommend for any drone pilot. It allows you to receive manned aviation signals, and you can overlay those on an iPad app or on the built-in Stratix software. But basically, you'll see manned aircraft as they're approaching. As of January 1st, 2020, just a couple months ago almost here, the FAA mandated that manned aviation be equipped with an ADS-B out transponder if they're flying in controlled airspace where a transponder is required. And so there's a lot of aircraft out there that are equipped with these things. I don't know the percentage, but it's an awesome tool I use in manned and unmanned. But another very cheap project, about $100 to build this thing, compared to about an $800 bill for the commercial version, which is called a Stratus on the commercial. But you can Google Stratux, Stratux, and find more info on that. But anyway, this project, so I have, like I said, fried a SD card. So I've built this shutdown button, which is basically gives a command to the Pi to safely shut it down. And I normally have a case for this thing, but I'm showing you just to show you the actual Pi without the case. As far as where to get this thing, Amazon, all over online. The 3B plus model is about, I think it's about $45 with the full kit, with the case, the power supply, the SD card, several other options on there. I think it's about $85, and then there's another kit for the 4 that's about $100 for the Raspberry Pi 4 for the same stuff. And then what's great about this thing, I have it right now powered with the power supply, but it uses about 2 amps, so a power bank will work, like an Anker here. You just want to make sure you have at least 2 amps coming into the Pi. And most of these, the nicer, bigger ones, I know there's like the 20,000 milliamp hour is common. There's a 24,000 I think for about $26, and it puts out, I want to say somewhere over 2 amps, I think 2.5 amps per USB output port. So that would be more than enough, and I would demo that right now, but I need to charge this, so I'm using the power supply. But it's a great way to have a portable local streaming solution, kind of like the Autel Live Deck, which I have demoed, and you'll find this is very comparable, I think, to the Live Deck, especially in latency, but I believe this has more applications than the Live Deck, and you'll see that here in a second. So I'll get started with the demo here. So let me power it on, and I just shut it down, so I'm just going to unplug it, plug it back in, and power it on so you can see it booting up. And I have it set to boot up into Raspbian OS, which is the Linux desktop version for this Pi. And I didn't mention, but on the Pis you definitely would want a 3B Plus or a 4 model with the built-in Wi-Fi to do this. You could use a Wi-Fi adapter on some of the older models. I haven't tested that yet, but I don't know how close that would be. But the 3B Plus and the 4 is easy. It has built-in Wi-Fi. So you'll see desktop environment, and right off the bat it's pulling up a terminal, and what this terminal is doing is waiting for a stream, and it's going to wait, I think I have it set to wait for like 300 seconds, so quite a while to wait for a stream. And once it gets that stream, it'll instantly maximize the window using OMX Player and display the stream. And I'll show you that here right now. I have my Mavic Air. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to connect to the Pi's. The Pi is acting as a router, an access point really, and so I'm going to connect to the Pi's Wi-Fi that it's putting off. And it's looking for it. Okay, so it's connected there, right there at the top, automatically. And once it's connected, I'm going to go into my DJI Go app. Okay, sorry about that. So just put the USB cable in there a little bit better, but I'll ignore the firmware update. So I'm just demoing this indoors because it's not a real reason. It's the same effect outside, and you'll see. But okay, so we're in DJI Go, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to the settings tab up here, and then the general settings down at the bottom, the 3 dots. We're going to go to select live broadcast, and we're going to go to the last option, that RTMP. I'm going to put in the RTMP URL up here, which in this case is the gateway or the Raspberry Pi router address, which is 192.168.0.1, and then /live/DJI. And you can set that up in the Nginx configuration on the Pi on exactly what the suffix is right here, the kind of the streaming key, so someone can't just stream anything over your connection without knowing what it is. And you can also change that static IP address here. But we'll go next, we'll go start, and what we're looking for on the top left is the blue symbol that shows, there we go, so we know we're streaming, and it's showing 30 frames per second, which is pretty good. And then right away our monitor came on, our Pi's connected to the monitor, and it's showing a stream. And what's great about OMX Player, I've tried this originally with VLC Player, and VLC was great, but it buffers and there's no getting around it. And so there was about a 1.5 to 2 second delay that wouldn't go away. With OMX Player, the latency initially is about that 1.5 seconds, but then it adapts itself and gets much, much better. You can get down definitely sub-second here. So you can see just me turning the drone. So it's starting to get better right now, you can see. So we're close to 1 second now. And you'll see it gets better and better. But see there, so now we're definitely below a second. So you could fly and you could stream locally wirelessly. So right now our setup on some of our drones is just to have an HDMI cable on our Crystal Sky to a TV in the vehicle or something to show bystanders. But with this, you could be completely wireless and have multiple viewers. So you could broadcast to somebody's iPhone if they have VLC player using that exact same URL there that I put, or Android or another monitor computer. So lots of streaming players out there. But let's see. So I wanted to show you too, and it's still really good. But just another application for this here is, let me stop this. So if you didn't stream just the straight video picture, what I could stream is the complete app, kind of like I believe LiveDeck does. But so I've stopped the stream, I've turned it off, turned the drone off, and you'll see it freezes on the last frame. But same as when the Pi boots up, it's waiting for another signal. So as soon as it gets a signal, whatever that means, if your battery ran out and you need to restart the stream on the same drone, you can do that. Or in this case, I'm going to show you, we're going to stream from my phone using a streaming app. So I'm going to connect to the Pi's Wi-Fi again, and it's going to tell me there's no internet, of course. And a couple streaming apps I've tried that are really good is this CamOn live streaming. That streams the camera of the phone, so whatever the phone's camera is seeing. So if you wanted to set the phone on the dash in the vehicle and drive down the road and assess damage or something like that, you could stream that locally just from your phone. And then we have this screen stream mirror, and this one's it's a really, really good app with very little latency. I'll show you here. So it's loading, and I've already put in that URL, that RTMP ://192.168.0.1. Of course, there's ads. So, okay. I may do the paid version of this. I really like it. But so I've already put in that IP address. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play to broadcast, and you can see right away, right as I hit play, it's broadcasting that stream. And this one, like I said, the latency is amazing. But same with the other one, it adapts. So you could do presentations with this, even nothing to do with drones, but it's really, really good. But same deal, you could display your camera. You could, like I said, we could do any of the drone apps. You could do Autel, DJI, and of course it's going to be, I haven't opened this in a while, so I just thought about doing it right now, but everybody's got ads. So anyway, you can get the point, but it's going to show everything that's on your phone screen. So instead of just the camera feed like the DJI Go, but lots of apps and capabilities here. And then that's about it. And like I said, when I turn it off, that's what happens. And so just to show you the safe shutdown button. So if I push this button, it's going to give it the shutdown command. So there it is, power off. So it's basically just powered off the Pi safely, so it won't ruin the SD card. And I'm going to post the image of this SD card. So if anyone wanted to clone this and create the exact thing online, they could.